Welcome to Jamrock Crew's Western Conference Podcast, your boy BigBodyCisco, my brother Westafa, and when I say special, I know I say this all the time, but we got a special guest. Special. Mr. GRAMPS Morgan of Morgan Heritage. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, God is great, man. And in the blessed name of my people,
You know what else is great? That hat. Because I swear to God, I've been trying to find this hat for the life of me.
Thank you.
You make big men proud. You know that, GRAMPS? You make big men proud. Every time I look.
You're stylish. You got to give your Cisco the number,
something.
Man.
Let's
because
go.
GRAMPS be he to the T. I don't know what publicist or what
Suited
stylist you have, but you be suited and booted. I said, you know what?
Oh, man.
And I always tell Feej, I said, well, you got to get Gramps' stylist. He's like, oh, not right now.
Thank you, brother.
But how we doing?
It's good, man. And first of all, I just want to say congratulations to you and Westafa, because the platforms that our culture and our music and our island people get to see you guys creating this podcast that our artists, our island artists from Jamaica, Trinidad, Samoa, Hawaii, Tonga, Vanuatu, New Caledonia, the whole South Pacific.
Absolutely.
It's very powerful because the power of reggae music is on every island. I tell people that, it's not just Jamaica and not only in Hawaii. Like when I tell some people that the number one music in Hawaii is reggae music. And then they love their R&B and their hip-hop. But thank you guys for creating this platform for us, the artists.
Oh, man. I think it was long overdue, because I think we had the relationships with you guys as artists, and no one was doing this. So I kind of seen there was a void in it. And I told Westafa, I said, look, we know all the boys. We know Gramps, we know Boog. I said, let's do it with, our family first. And then once people started to see that, through with Feej, and they how Let's Do It Again was born, how we had that clip went viral. Like that clip of Don Corleone hits me as soon as that hits Instagram, and he goes, I want to get on the podcast. And it was like dominoes after that. Everyone was like, hey, we need to get on there, tell our story.
So y'all gotta get Don. So you gotta get the whole tree. You got J Boog's version, and then you got Don's coming up, and now you're gonna hear my version.
I was about to say, we need to hear Gramps' version, because I told Boogie, I said, wait, that was gonna be a Gramps song? Tell us about that.
Where do I start?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know what, man. Yeah, it's like, first of all, like, you were so instrumental in Boog being where he's at.
Yes.
Like, just as much as Feej, because Feej brought him along, and then I think we just talked about this. I think it was either Jamiri was saying something that you linked with Feej first, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So first we have to big up Fiji.
Yeah.
That's my brother and Uncle B.
Yeah, shout out Uncle B, man. Rest in love.
Because before I met anybody, I was in Hawaii, and at the time I was producing Irie Love, and Irie Love was singing background.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
I remember that.
Right. For my sister that wasn't torn at the time, and we wanted a female voice. So I'm actually the one that put out Irie Love's first EP called Hiku.
Yes.
Come on.
So
come on.
That's where it started from. And then I wanted to work with Fiji, and I was like, yo, I want to build a bridge, because nobody was doing that. Let it be told on Western Conference that it was Gramps
you heard it first right here.
Come on.
Heritage that built that bridge between the Hawaii and Jamaica. So I went to Fiji and said, yo, Fiji, you're such a great singer. Why my people in Jamaica don't know you? And I said, I want to change that the same way artists are known in Hawaii and are known in Samoa. So I went and had this meeting with Fiji, and at the time he introduced me to Uncle D, and he said, yo, this is Wash House. And then I met Jonas. Big up to Jonas. And then he said, of course, Fiji, brother, me good, brother. Me want you help me, little brother. And I was like, what? I want to work with you.
Exactly.
Like, Fiji the man, right? And I'm like, he said, no, brother, we're doing the future. And I'm like, bro, this guy messing up my plan. I flew all the way to Hawaii. He told me about his little brother. And then he said, this kid named J Boog. I said, I never heard of him. And he said, he's playing on the radio. I'm telling you, he's going to be the future. And he said, work with him. And then I went on tour with Buju. In 2009, and Buju, at the time I was on tour with Indiari and John Legend, and then Buju was at the Garden the following week. So
you like how he just brushed that over?
I was about to say, don't just try to just like side note those names like these are the biggest names in the industry right now.
The history, man, that journey, that time with Wash House and Fiji, and then how J Boog came into my life, and then I took J Boog on tour with me when I went on tour with Buju, and I said I had a whole tour bus to myself, and I was like, yo, and then Jonas and Uncle B was just like, just mentor him, just show him the ropes. And then after meeting him, I was like, yo, he had this tone on his voice. And I'm like, this youth, you're unique. And then he said, yo, man, I just want to come with you. He was just very like, you know, he was just excited.
Hungry,
And he told me about all the artists that he was listening to Jamaica. And I'm like, at that time, it really dawned on me that I have to build this bridge. If there's anybody that's going to do it, at the time, nobody was looking at Hawaiian artists from someone. Nobody. Nobody. And it was a vision that I shared with Fiji, and then he put me on to Boog, and then that's how the Wash House thing started. And we, you know, got to Jamaica, and he said to me, I said to him, make me a wish list. Right, Boog? I said, make me a wish. He said, which artist you want to work with? So Uncle B and Jonas had me produce the album. So I produced like 80% of was it not Wash Out? What's the first name? Backyard Boogie.
Backyard Boogie.
Yeah, so I produced a song with Taurus Riley and J Boog. Sunshine Girl, we recorded in New York. When it's so much to this story, I don't know if we can do the one podcast. But I was nominated for the IRAMA Awards, and I told Boog, yo, everywhere I go, you go. That was the plan.
Under your wing.
I remember all this, man. I remember all
and
this.
I said, if
that
I
was
go,
in New York too, wasn't it?
That was in New York.
Yeah.
And we went to the IRAMA Awards. I took Boog on the red carpet with me. I said, yo, anywhere I go, you go. You my product. And I was doing the name of just building that bridge, and Jonas and Uncle B and the whole Wash House family. And I said, boom, just follow my lead. Boom, that day, I think I won like 4 awards out of 7. And then we were so happy. And Jonas was like, yo, what we gonna do? Jonas was like, let's go to the studio. I'm like, what studio?
In New York.
In New York, out of the blue. And then boom, we call Wycliffe and say, yo, boys is in town. Can you get us in the studio? And he said, come on, sure, boom. Went up to Platinum Sounds, and we on the way. True story. This is how Sunshine Girl was written.
Oh, here we go. Exclusivo right here on the Western Conference Podcast.
So we on the way to Platinum Sounds. With Jerry Wonder was there, and Clef was, you know, out of town, but he booked the studio for us. So we get there, and I'm on the bridge, and I'm like, what are we gonna do? And I told Jonas was like, yo, we'll just make up something. I said, I think I got 2 more tracks left. Didn't write to it, no lyrics. We didn't have no lyrics.
Just
and we're
skeleton.
going to the studio just saying we're gonna make something. And I'm playing the car and was like, Peter's driving. No, I was driving and Peter's in the passenger seat. I'm like, because I brought Peter in on the project because Peter's a dangerous songwriter. And I was like, Pete, I make the music, you write the song. And I think this is going to be a brilliant Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis thing for the music. And on the way, he came up with the hook, and I'm like, Solomon Islands are New Caledonia, or even Hawaii, the land of sweet Pacalodo. I seen him, and we just started jumping at the car and kept rewind, play it again. By the time we got from Brooklyn to Manhattan, the song was done.
In the car.
Wow. Brooklyn to Manhattan, that's like about 10, 15 minutes, right?
About 25 minutes. 25 minutes. And then when we got up to the studio, we was like, yo, boo, we got it. He was like, word. And it just started flowing. And that song just...
Yo, you know, so I asked him a story about that song just yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago. And I said, bro, how did that song come about? And he was saying at the time you were giving him all like rootsier rhythms. And he said, man, I didn't know how to like say, he goes, that he wanted something more like major, you know? And then I guess somehow he said something like he heard something or like some type of ska reference. And you're like, why did you just say so?
Right. Just tell me what you want.
Tell
me what you want.
So he's like, now I'd have no problem. But back then, you know, he didn't really know how to like.
Yeah, he was shy, you know? And I was just trying to give him lay out the cards and say pick which one, like a variety, you know, instead of just give him one thing. But me's a roots man, I mean say rockers, you know. And I think the longevity of tracks like that lasts a lifetime.
Absolutely.
You know, there's hit records and then you have impact records.
But even the Sunshine Girl, I mean, even for it to be a ska type of track, it's a different kind of ska track, man. And that song, trust me, man, when we and him perform together, that song is huge. Like
everywhere. So like we always, that's part of our
call and response that's in there.
The call and response is ridiculous because it's so worldwide, like accepted. Like Sunshine Girl could be anybody. It could be island reggae, hip hop, R&B, anything. So that goes hand in hand. But that's something when you get into, you know, your vibe for getting music like that, to see that something that's going to be more accepted universally?
Absolutely. The one thing I say to my island people is that we all have one thing in common, and it's coconuts.
Yeah.
You know? And on every island there's coconuts, you know. But it's also the love, the peace, the humility, the making something out of nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like if people go to certain parts of Samoa, you would think you're in Jamaica.
Yeah.
You know, because
we were just talking about it when we were on Jamaica. We're like, man, it's like Samoa.
And I was I was telling Cisco, I said, bro, this reminds me of like being in Samoa or Tonga. Like,
especially some of the shrubbery. We're like, I look like Samoa right there. and then you got the beach.
Exactly. And those are the things that I'm trying to bring across in the music, even, you know, with my new solo projects, to just show, you know, me living in Nashville and just telling people that, you know, we have so much more in common than we think. Yeah. Like even in Hawaii, like country music is big. In Jamaica, country, like we love the great songwriting.
Yes.
You know, so
songwriting especially. Yeah.
So it's something special. That's why I love what I see with the bands like Iration, Maoli. Yeah. Like Maoli, I don't know what it is about.
I told Glenn for Maoli. He should.
Yeah, man. We did a tour called the Island Vibes tour with it was Maoli,
No, but I'm
Fiji.
saying like musically, as far as like.
Oh yeah, we got some plans. Everything top secret, like DJ Khaled said.
Okay.
I keep telling Glenn from Maoli, he is a country singer in a Hawaiian's body.
Yeah. He's just a great singer, and I think a lot of the storytelling within country music matches within reggae. It does. Like when you hear him sing, it's like, man, this guy's voice is sweet. Yeah. It's like, and what's my other boy named Hawaiian? He was nominated for a Grammy for the Hawaiian category.
Tatofa. Oh, Josh Tatofa.
Oh, Josh Tatofa. You talking about the Tongan Luther Vandross right there. That boy can sing.
Yeah. I tell people, man, like, all Polynesians can sing. They pour that kava out and then start holding the vibe, and then that's, you hear like, wait a minute, when did you start singing? But it's a very family thing.
Well, it's from so much. You know, from kid times, you know.
Well, you see these big old dudes coming up with these harmonious, you know, vocals. Like, hold up, because I think we'll, you know, stereotype because they think we're football players, and then we start singing because we were raised in church, and I think church, you know, we kind of like know how to get the altos, the tenors, and we know how to get the real music down. And when we get
the harmonies are different too.
Yes,
you know, like the traditional chant harmonies and stuff like that. You know, that
I love Fiji's the one that turned me on to a lot of that. Like, I'm like them chants.
The chants,
Bingi is like that same. So the drums is really a powerful thing for island people.
Absolutely.
Worldwide. So I'm just happy that the story is still being written, and I'm thankful for y'all now that's being able to capture this history
and to tell the story, because the story needs to be told, Gramps. Because people didn't know until they watched this. You guys bridged the gap between the whole island reggae and the reggae.
And even before that, like, you know, you guys are huge in like the Polynesian playlists. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go anywhere in the islands, and
you drop a Morgan Heritage song, you drop a Gramps Morgan song, and it's received so well through the Polynesian community.
For me, it's like, it's island people, you know, like worldwide. Like even me now playing, you know, I did a show with Jimmy Buffett's people in Key West the other day, and it was the same island people. They were just a little bit older, you know, and this jamming. I'm like, island music is island music, and that's why I love reggae music and so passionate about it, and building bridges between every island. Like on my radio show, I say I play the hits from every island. So when I started playing a lot of Polynesian artists on my radio show, people's like, yo, who that? Matter of fact, my wedding song that I danced to was Maoli. Wow. My sweet melody. That song, was my first dance.
That's the one too.
And to my wife, I said, yo, this is the song that we're gonna dance to.
Come on.
So Maoli.
Big up, Glenn. You got to come on the podcast too, by the way,
Glenn,
man.
Big up yourself. Come in. It's all about Western Conference.
But tell us about this solo project that you started to work on now.
Oh man.
Because I remember being at the Grammy party in Vegas. It was you. Come on, man. You hadn't had Sean Paul, and we were in old Vegas. And Gramps Morgan could be the only one that throw a Grammy party and have like him, Sean Paul, all these heavy hitters in the game just at a hotel. And I was looking at it like, how come nobody is on this like right now? But tell us about how that whole transition for you. Just say, okay, let me step outside the box and see how this solo career goes.
That night of the Grammy party, I wanted to, because that was my throwing a second Grammy party. First was at Morgan Heritage, and I thought it was just something that the genre should celebrate. You know. Like
it was definitely a celebration.
Parties, you hear about the Clive Davis parties, you hear about all these parties, and I'm like, so what happened to reggae?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, let's come together. So I invited everybody, Spice, Sean Paul, you know, then a lot of Tyson Beckford came through, all the Gonzalez sisters, like all these.
Because the Gramps Morgan Grammy party is starting to be a staple now. Because like, okay, well, where's Gramps Reggae party at? That's what we want to go to.
Yeah, that's what I want it to be.
Yes.
That people can come and experience a dancehall vibe with respectfully.
Oh, it was a vibe.
Nobody jumping out of trees or anything. Not that version.
Well,
but
you know, it helps that Gramps can say Grammy Award winning.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way,
see,
we missed that fact.
The old modest Gramps is, you know, like I say, you go back to being the Grammy winning artist, Grammy nominated artist. Yeah. But now it's like you got one as a group and one as a solo artist as far as being nominated. But how does that, like, because then you have your son. Come on, we wish we could go down the line of the lineage.
Yeah,
but this whole, oh man, come on, Jameer's doing it right now. We had him on the on earlier on the ship, but we were talking to him and we were just talking about his growth that we've seen, you know, from him being, you know, young artist up to where he has it now and doing with Kabaka Pyramid. And he was just talking about the collab with Jameer as well. But this is just a musical family period.
Yeah, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. And as we watch the next generations come up and it's like being prepared, you look at Damian Marley's son and he's getting big. And look at all the next generation coming. I think Jameer, kids like Joe Mercer Marley is an incredible artist that people are not paying attention to. Christopher Ellis. You talking about that next generation?
The list goes on and on.
You know, Freddie McGregor's son, the genius. So, you know, during the pandemic, let me just take a few steps back. During the pandemic, it was like, okay, been there, done that, all these nominations, couple wins. What's next? Like, what's the next challenge?
What's the next challenge? Yeah, so it has to be a challenge, though, right? It
has to be a challenge, but are getting better.
Yes.
You know, and I'm there in Nashville, and I'm there with my family, and I'm like, we sitting there and hoping that there's gonna be toilet paper in the supermarket and and some flour and rice and cooking oil and sugar. And you know, I went to a hockey game and I met this guy named Johnny Reed, and me and him, they were just like, okay, this guy does music. He's from Canada, and he said, this is a reggae artist from Jamaica, and they put us together and we started talking and we just kick it off.
Clicked right away.
A guy from Scotland, a guy from Jamaica. Boom.
Wow.
And he said, so what you doing in this, mate? I said, man, I just want to become a better songwriter while we have the time. And for many years, my father, rest in peace to my father, Jamrock Morgan, always spoke about writing great songs. And we wrote some good songs, Down by the Rivers, but there's levels, you know?
Levels.
And then I got a chance to go to the studio and went there, and this guy had a whole team, the studio, and he was just like, he came to me and said, mate, why didn't you tell me you were a reggae star? And I said, what do you mean? He went and Googled and realized. So he didn't know. So I was like, nah, it's all good. Like, you know, we starting from scratch. And let me tell you, Cisco, it was a vibe. It was like I went back to school again. And it just shows you in this business, there's levels. I spoke to Shaggy when Shaggy went on tour with Sting. And he looked at me and said, Gramps, there's levels to this business. After he sold 10 million records plus on one album. So it just shows you that you always got to stay humble and keep searching. Because within that project, I learned so much and had fun. I wanted to bring happiness to people because people were stuck inside. So I was like, I wanted to pep it up with some ska and mento and some, you know, and with some happy lyrics like, don't put no water in my whiskey, just some fun records. And of course, you know, you have the Roots records, and I've been there, done that. When you're ready, just go in the catalog and say, I need some Roots. Like DJ Westafa
Take your pick.
Give me that. Give me that tune. You wanna really hard, like, give me Down by the River. But this is like tropical, bar, tiki, a little bit of mix of country, a little bit of mix of ska, mento, and it was just a fun album. And people in the Grammy board, they got it on what I was trying to do. And I actually revisited the past of ska when people was like, yo, that's country and western. I'm like, no, that's ska music. You know, and I'm like, wait a minute. You know, some people is like, we move so fast as island people, we don't realize where we're coming from. Because we always like, what's new, what's new? So
What's
that
next?
project for me, it was just like a fun project and wanted to uplift the people that were still at the airports, the people that were still in the supermarkets, those people to say, you know, that's how the song People Like You came about.
Powerful
and
song.
And then that song just kind of just healed people. I mean, people were dying. People are still dying.
Yeah.
And that's what that album was about. So when it get nominated, I was just like, are you kidding me?
The impact of that song, People Like You, was just so huge because I remember you sent me that record during the pandemic.
Yes.
And I played it on my Twitch show, and so many people was like, dude, that song got me through the pandemic. And it was crazy because I was like, Gramps over here just changing lives.
Yeah.
He's already doing it, but like in the pandemic to see that magnitude of that song, People Like You, and it was just like, wow. And then to see you get, you know, awarded to get nominated like that, that was huge.
Yeah. And then even this year, just the point, I wanted to peel back the layers of the music, because a lot of times the music, the rhythm's so bad, like you don't get that chance to really listen.
Yeah, kick
and
back,
say,
enjoy it.
What did he say?
Yeah.
But so when we did the acoustic album, it was like just a tip of that. I was on tour with Mojo and Jappy. We was in Morgan Heritage European tour, back to my day job.
Yeah.
Right? And then I came back home. My wife said, you know, we had like 4 days off. So I was like, man, I'm gonna fly back home and relax a little bit. And I came back home and went to the studio. I said, my father just passed away, and it was still heavy on my chest.
Yeah.
And then I went in and just sang the song Butterfly. And that song, like, if you haven't heard that song, people, go check it out. If you're a father and you have a child,
that Butterfly though,
just,
man.
Yeah, and watching your kid just grow up right in front of your eyes, and you got to take them to the college dorm and watch them become a grown up. You feel it as a parent, and you got to learn to let go. So
if you're a parent, if you're a parent, anything, you got to get that song, because Butterfly, it made me feel like I was late on my child support payment. Like, man, I got to go pay this before. But I'm telling you, that was a strong, powerful song too. But that's what you've been doing like lately, because since the pandemic, these songs have been a lot of feeling behind these.
Exactly, and it's just, you know, me wanting to become a better songwriter, because at some point I'm gonna want to come off of the stage less frequently. Got to be on the stage and start building, working on J Boog's son. And start working on, you know, I'm watching Polynesians. I know who's next. I don't want to say no names, but I know who's next. So I want to start working on those projects, and I want to have the arsenal in order to take that artist to the next level. I just don't want to be working the way I was working with Boog and Common Kings and, you know, all the artists that we've worked with in the past. But now for the next generation, I got to be ready as a producer. And the album Deeper, that's what it says. I said I want to go deep. I don't want to stay on the surface of what I've been there and done before. So I have to go deeper, that even any music that I produce, it has to be like, wow. And then even the country genre recognize it. So the album was in the pool for best country album.
Wow.
So it just shows you that, you know, people say, yo, Gramps, you're a country artist now? No.
It's part of the resume. Part of the resume.
Move to Nashville and turn country on.
Yeah, but it's still missing me rockers. People look at my hat, they say, yo, I said, go watch the Rockers movies. You'll see a bunch of hats like this. Beavers, it was a Rasta thing. It's like, and I'm kind of just reminding them back. And when they see the past, they're like, is that something new? No, this is go watch the Rockers movie. So when they see the Rasta man then with the beaver, stuff up in here, stuff up in the tilt to the side, and some diamond socks and some ballies and Clarks, and it's the culture, you know? So to see that that album was even put in the pool of country artists, it shows that what we are capable as island people, as reggae artists, to be multi-genre. Rihanna is not a reggae artist. She's not a pop artist. She's not a calypso or soul artist. She's a pop artist. She's an artist. Right. So, and she's from the Caribbean. So I want us in the Caribbean to know that we can do great things than putting ourselves in a box.
Come on, and we talk about the culture, and we talk about, it takes us to this cruise. Welcome to Jamrock and Morgan Heritage taking the stage. I mean, tell us about to be up amongst your, not just peers, but amongst your peers, you know, all the reggae artists that are on the cruise, but along with people that just love predominantly reggae music. Tell us about that and how it feels to be performing on this stage.
One thing with Damien, he knows I call him a little genius. From day one, I was there when Damien built the song Welcome to Jamrock. He'll tell you that story. I'll leave that for y'all podcast. When I was in Kingston and he had this little Digio 2, this little version of Pro Tools, and he was on the side room. He wasn't even in the big studio at 56 Hope Road, Kingston, Jamaica. And all I heard was ching, 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 and he was like, yo, what do you think of this? You know, because that time you didn't know Damien as a producer, and he was just asking us out of some big bros, like, and I was like, yo, this is gonna be a hit record. You ask him, you know it's true. And like 2 years later, I was like, out in this thing,
man,
and I'm like, it worked. You know, so big up to Damien, man, and his vision. This kid is, well, he ain't a kid no more. This man has a vision. He's patient, and he loves quality, and he's about the culture. He's about the movement of the music. And to see him take a festival, because a lot of people don't know that Welcome to Jamrock was a concert in Kingston before.
Oh, wow.
It was a concert in Kingston that was kept at this venue off of Constant Spring Road. And then, you know, everybody, you know, every artist had a show. It was like so many shows in Jamaica. Everybody had a festival, including Morgan Heritage. We had a festival called East Fest. It was like, and then after we busted out, Anthony B came out with a festival, Coca T came out with a festival.
Everybody got a festival,
But Damien had something that was special, and then he just brought it back on the water, which was
crazy.
This is going to be here for another 25 years.
That goes hand in hand.
Yeah, it's crazy to see, like, you know, I seen Damien's son running around, and it's like, you know, we do a lot of festivals and stuff, and you know, like, there's kids that grow up in that circuit. But imagine growing up on the Jamrock Cruise circuit. You know what I'm saying? Like, even for Jameer, you know, his first one was with you guys, 2014. 8 years later now, you know what I'm saying? He's got his youth come in, and
man.
It's just crazy, man.
It's beautiful to see, man, and I'm glad that you guys are here capturing and all the other media, because this is history in the making. Like 10 years from now, you know, we're gonna have some gray hairs, and you know, our back's gonna be a little be like, yo, it's time for you remember 10 years ago. You know, we're getting old, because shout out to Freddie McGregor sending out healing and blessings. You know, rest in peace to my father, Denroy Morgan, my uncle Toots and the Maytals. You're seeing the elders turning into ancestors. So even with the song People Like You, it's to tell people that, hey, man, we need to give each other our flowers. Like, man, I saw Stephen Marley last night, and I'm like, yo, bro, I love you. Let's not wait until, you know, if it's anything we learned out the pandemic, we learned out, let's give each other our flowers now. Don't wait till I'm gone, bro. So that is something that, you know, I see that we're now turning into the elders. You know, Fiji is now an elder. Before we were like the artists. And we got to prepare ourselves to build and give advice to the next generation that's going to need it, because a lot of kids are lost right now.
Come on. And they need that.
Another one that we lost that was huge during the pandemic was Bobby Digital.
Oh, come on. Bobby Digital. The Dixon family, Miss Dixon.
Talk about that link, man, because that's how I came across was during that time. You know, when it was Kalanji and Morgan Heritage, it was like Coca T.
I gotta come to the Vegas.
Come on, man.
But we need to open it up.
Stories, if y'all want it, you're going
that's like one of my favorite producers. His sound. I was just talking to Shortcut about it. Like, that sound is like kind of missing, you know, and how much of a genius he was, sonically and technically. You know,
there you go, because he wasn't a musician, right? He wasn't an artist, but his sonics as an engineer. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Digital was an engineer at King Jammy's studio, and then decided to do his thing, and then Shabba Ranks gave him a song, and then the song take off, and that's how Digital B Records started. So that's that story, you know, a little bit of it. But when we went to Bobby Digital as Morgan Heritage in 1995, a man by the name of Dennis Howard brought us and said to my dad, yo, you guys need to be Bobby. And then one day we had a farm where King Jammy's has a property right next door, and he said, King, I want you to meet the youth them. You know, we just went to Jamaica, some little New York kid, you know. He was like, yo,
straight out of Brooklyn.
Straight out of Brooklyn.
Shout out to BK.
And then he said, all right, bring them by the studio. So that's how we started working with Bobby Digital and King Jammy's at the same time. For 8 months, we would record morning and evening, one time of the day with King, one time with Bobby Digital. And with Bobby Digital, it was like a brother. You know? It's like, yo, this is our big brother. And with King Jammy's, it's like a father. It's like, yes, daddy, you know. Yes, we're gonna sing, daddy. And then Bobby was like, yo, man, come on. He had us on the rooftop picking Aki out the tree and sending us to the store to build the vibe, because we're coming from America. There's one thing with Jamaica, I don't know how to describe it. Now a lot of people are saying Jamaica's not a real place, but it's different. The people different. The swag is different. The food, just everything about we're different people, man. And when you go to Jamaica, me going on the rooftop and picking some Akis, I'm like, dude, what you doing? Can we make some? Because I'm a Brooklyn kid, right? So I'm like, the Brooklyn jump out of me. I'm like, I'm picking no Aki. You know what I'm saying? First, I don't even know how to climb a tree. But he said, climb up on the building, go up there, and you see a stick up there, juke them off, pull them off.
He was doing some Mr. Miyagi with you guys.
There you go. And then we felt the vibe. It was like, yo, jeez. And then that came across even the way we started singing, because we used to sing a lot of on top of the beat. Like, what is this world coming to? But now we started that dumpling kick in. You're like, what is this world coming to? And then you start bounce with that Nyabinghi vibration there. And then even going to visit the Nyabinghi houses in Jamaica, and going to a bingy and beating drum and praising John, singing with the elders, go before us, and understand the culture. Like, when you go to a bingy, you understand, and then you realize it. Okay, this thing is more than just reggae and
That's what was so dope to me. The first time I heard you guys, it was a song it was like a mixtape, and it was a song called "Oh Israel."
Whoa.
That was the first song I ever heard.
Oh, now he's showing his DJ skills.
No. So like, I'm just saying, like, it out of the whole tape, it was all just a bunch of different reggae, but that song just stood out to me.
Oh, Israel.
Yeah, and like, so then I started checking more, right? And it was like, but just you guys' approach to the songs was different than what you would hear in reggae. You know, like
exactly. And I'm glad you point that out, because a lot of people would say that. It was like, you know, sometimes some people they would call us the foreign youth, them, like, you know, because we was New York, so it was like this foreign, but we were more Jamaican than a lot of people that are born in Jamaica, you know, because the roots of how my father instilled that in the home. We could have been on Mars. The culture is the culture, right? So it don't matter which country you're living in, but the roots and the culture and the faith of Rastafari was so heavy that it came across in the music. So when we sang "Oh Israel," you could hear that it wasn't like Pina Colada, man, come on, check a man. Man. It wasn't that kind of thing. It was like almost gospel, R&B singing on top of reggae. So that's what makes Morgan Heritage unique. It's like reggae, rock, punk rock.
Well, I'm glad you said R&B, because I always tell everybody that Gramps Morgan is the Teddy Pendergrass of reggae. Because if he just said, they'd be like, turn them off. I'm like, oh shit, Gramps said turn the light off. Because you have that strong presence, and I think that's why it works so well with you and Pizza and the rest of the Morgan Heritage boys, because you have that presence. Tell me where that come from, especially because that Teddy P, that turn them off.
It's just a vibe. It's just a vibe. We grew up listening to a lot of R&B. Our father would say, study this singer. He made Peter study Sam Cooke. I would study people like Otis Redding, you know, people that was in my range, James Ingram. And he brought in a lot of professionals. Even Thelonious Monk Jr. came in at one time. M2 made, do you know this track that you said? The Biggie Smalls track. He was at our studio. So my father brought all of these legends to just be around us, work with us, produce songs with us that are still unreleased.
Come on.
You know?
Still in the vault. Still in the vault.
Oh, we got albums.
You can slide a couple of those over this way.
Just go on, send us more.
So when we, you know, working with all these legendary people throughout our career, you picked up something from everywhere, but we're Jamaican and we love reggae. So on our reggae music, that's why you hear me say rock, cause it's reggae music that rocks. Reggae music with the edge. It's not just the typical traditional reggae.
And it's crazy because you say you were raised on legends, and now look at you. You're a legend yourself. Man, giving you your flowers while you're here, like you always
cooking,
said. Still cooking and still doing what you do. Like, for somebody to leave a lineage like you have, when somebody says, think of Gramps Morgan, what do you want them to take away from what your whole resume through music life been like? When when you hear Gramps Morgan, you hear what?
Peace. Love and healing. Healing within relationships, healing and not personal relationships. It could be mother and daughter that haven't spoken to a while, mother and son, father and son, auntie, brothers and sisters. I want to be the one that mends relationships and remind us to share love. Like, okay, you haven't spoken to your auntie in a while, you haven't spoken to your mom, your dad. Give them a call. I want to be that guy that reminds you when you listen to my songs.
And that's definitely needed, and you doing your thing, Gramps.
Where does Gramps come from?
The name Gramps came from my auntie Gracie, my father's sister. She came in the hospital the day I was born in Brooklyn and said, "My God, him look like Grandpa." And I was like, when I heard this story, I was like, that's how I got my And then I was playing basketball one day, and then my friend named Jay, my name was Grandpa. Yeah. It wasn't Gramps.
Yeah.
And then he was the first one that said, "Yo, Gramps, give me the ball." Oh, yeah. And then that's how Gramps came about.
That's definitely like the homie way to say it.
Yeah.
We're not about to call you.
Yeah. But now the name is literal now, because now Jamiri has the beautiful baby girl coming. So tell us how that feeling is, just to have the name match the moniker now.
For me, it's gonna be my second grandbaby. Yeah. For me, and my wife can contest to this, that I was afraid. Yeah. Because I know what it takes to accept that responsibility in becoming a father. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Because the first one, a lot of people that face parenthood for the first time, they bump into it like, girl come, "I'm pregnant." Yeah.
Oh,
what
man, Gramps.
Right? And then you got some people like, "Honey, we're pregnant."
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, how is he going to handle this? And, I was afraid, but, orange don't bear grapefruit, right? Yeah. And the apple tree bears an apple. So I was able to work it out and figure it out. So he's going to be fair. Just the fear of me as a father, knowing, are you ready for this responsibility? It's not like you can bring it back to the pet store.
Exactly. Or just drop him off at your house.
Yeah, we're going to exchange that. I thought it was good. It's not a dog, right? It's a life. Yeah. And I think he's going to be a great dad, because he's a great big brother. Yeah. And that's what gives me comfort, the way he, him and Macario's relationship is like, Macario, and the way he protects him, and he's always been like that. And with his younger siblings, so I think he's gonna be a great dad.
Yeah, we talked to him about it, and we've seen it too through him. Yeah. We wanted to see. We were kind of curious to see what the answer would be, and he took it in stride. And he's proud, and he's excited to be a new father. And I told him, I said, take your time. I said, me as a father, let me just give you my fatherly advice. Take your time and enjoy it. I said, because there's a few times like, pregnant? Wait, who's pregnant? Right. But I told her he took it in grace. And Jameer's growing up, man. I remember when he was a kid and we was in Hawaii, just going everywhere. Now it's like, I'm about to have a baby. So it's a beautiful thing.
He looked like one of us. Like, wait a minute, you Gramps' son. You like his brother.
And I told him that's where it comes from. It comes from being in the upbringing where he get to come from. Because we always are a picture of what we are raised up on. True. And man, tomorrow Jameer's doing his thing and Dad's doing his thing, and now the whole family's doing their thing. Sir. And we appreciate your time. Spanky Johnson is here doing his thing. Yeah. Pizza, the whole family's here.
Shout out to like Maoli, that's really just taking.
Yeah. Spanky man. I remember the first time I saw him, I'm like, "What are you doing over here?" Yeah. He's like, I'm rolling with them.
Playing percussion, and just getting that experience. And I say the music fraternity is our family. It's not everybody, but I got friends. We all have friends in different genres, but there's something special about island people, Like, I remember sending Jamiri, to Hawaii and hanging out with Boog, and, J Boog took care of my son like his own
we were
son.
all at the house. It was me, Wes, Spanky, Jameer, and all at Boogie's house.
Me and Jameer going at it on the 2K over the crib, man.
See? So it's that family vibe, and that's what I think the world needs more of, and that's my mission,
Absolutely.
While I even on this solo project, with positive vibration, and just bringing that where I live at in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's like a light and it's like a fun energy, and them just the city knowing that, hey, there's a Jamaican guy here. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing to spread the color. We can't be packed up all in the same place. Yeah. Go and take the flag, like when people were voyaging and be like, in the name of the Queen, they stick a flag and be like, and went back to England and said, Queen, we found some new land. Yeah. I'm able to be in Nashville now and see Stephen Marley come through the town and be like, all right, he's at the venue, I'm coming down to see the Wailers come through, to see, all the artists come through and knowing that they got a friend in the city.
Absolutely.
Right. So
come on.
Future is great, sir.
We're
Positive
looking forward
vibrations.
to getting out to Nashville again, man.
Oh, when you're ready. It's just the beginning, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Nashville, you only put your flag out there, Gramps.
There was a song on Boog's album that was produced by one of your homies out there.
Oh yeah.
What was that guy's name?
That was me and Shannon Sanders.
Was that Sweet Love?
Yeah, Sweet
Love.
Oh man, I told Boogie that's one of my favorite songs of his ever.
Oh yeah,
it's like it's stepped outside the box where I'm like, I could play that with an R&B set like easily, and not even skip a beat.
That was the genius. That's when I said, Bill Boog, we got to do something on a different level. And then I said, let's mix it with the reggae R&B. So I said, I went for the R&B king, which is Shannon Sanders mixed.
Come on.
I mean, he'd run brown skin, you know.
Yeah.
He wrote all those songs with India. And I was like, Boog, because he met India when we was on, when I had
when you have under your wing,
So I said, yo, come to Nashville. And we went there, we went to Music Row, and then we wrote actually 3 songs, so there's still 2 unreleased.
Oh, see, come on, man. I think I made my last Sunday Sweet Love.
That was like, I remember when Shannon came to me and said, put the reggae, put the reggae
put that oomph in it.
And you hear that.
But it has a different swing to it. Yeah. And then that bass line comes. It's just...
Yeah, that's me on the bass.
See, come on.
Yeah. Actually, it's me and Shannon, because I was like, I would play the reggae part, but all that, that's Shannon. But so, I mean.
And he's in Nashville.
And he's in Nashville, like native to Nashville. He was born in L.A. actually, the Bay, and then moved to Nashville when he was a young kid. So he grew up there like from 7, 8 years old.
Come on,
he's
man.
the one that, I mean, he's changed my life in so many ways. So shout out to Shannon.
Shout out Shannon.
Gramps, don't give all the because we got to save some for Vegas. We just here on the Welcome to Jamrock cruise, man. We appreciate you for your time.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you.
This is a long time coming, and I know exactly when you come to Vegas, all the stories are going to come out on the Western Conference podcast.
Yeah, we got a lot more. We could have kept going on here, but you know.
We did, but somebody just said, because they're about to go take the stage, and somebody just gave us the Apollo hook, and was we got to go.
Let's go.
But you know what? My brother, Gramps Morgan, we thank you. We love you, man. We appreciate everything you do for the culture, brother.
Every time.
Always.
Shit.
Welcome to Jamrock Cruise. The legendary Gramps Morgan, Western Conference, Big Body, Westafa. We gone. Peace.